going to be the important part, and how they apply. So Jack goes August 27th. We know that. Individual sale will be 30th. Steam version you get at 27th, so you don't have to worry about being you can't be worrying about being a season pass holder. So that's nice. You get Song's Perfection Can't Please Me. I mean, she settled for Soul, so that's fine. Fix an issue where counter-setting action options would display incorrectly after match in training mode with training environment. Fixed an error replay data would not be saved properly. Okay. And then make sure you always save your replays. If you want those replays to persist afterwards, you must save them. Fix an issue affect properly when a counter hit and wall break happen simultaneously. Fix an issue where the position of opponent's character would change greatly after follow-up on a dust attack. And fix an issue where some sound effects such as flames will be played back repeatedly in certain situations. Okay, they rebalanced some of the songs. That's good. Network features. Major confirmed issue. Network features are completely inaccessible under certain play environments. We are continuing to look into address this issue. Any players experiencing this issue, please contact customer support with the following information, which console, ISP, router information, and image of error message. Okay. Doesn't really fix the connecting issue. That's kind of unfortunate. All right, and now let's see what happened here. Everyone's been touched. All the characters have been, in some capacity, adjusted. But to what extent? Let's find out. Beginning, Soul Badguy. Changing focus of differentiating the properties of his normals as well as situations after his special moves are blocked. So his normals are crazy, right? So let's start with that. We're going to count the normals of the moves. The hitbox of /, that's his giant sword swing, goes super far, is fast, and on counter hit, they lose like half life, guaranteed. It's been decreased on top and bottom, so it's less of an anti-air, and you can maybe crouch under it in certain circumstances. It might not hit some certain buttons, making it more likely to lose to low-profile moves and 6P attacks. So 6P attacks, good, because 6P attacks, if it doesn't hit as low, 6Ps are upper body invuln. So if it goes through the body and I 6P it, then I should be rewarded. So that's kind of good. You can use that 6P, which would work on /. It'll work on the 6/ really well, so that's cool. Crouching X, which was not used frequently, has been buffed and now serves a different use from normals at a mid-range. Interesting. So they did buff one of his moves, and he didn't use it as much. They noted it. It's not a very popular move because he just used /. We added some knockback to his far-standing slash, the core of his close-range game. Although the change is minimal when blocked normally, it has a major impact when blocked with faultless defense. Oh. So now you can faultless it and be out of it, because he was plus on block, right? When he did his /. And you'd be in another range for another / where you have to guess. So now if you FD, if there's the increased push block is multiplied by the FD when it's a normal block, instead you will get pushed farther away from Soul. So that's a better option from that distance. Knockback and crouching craze been increased, making it easier. So they didn't buff his 2K 2D, which is kind of weak. S version of Volcanic Viper has active time extended, making it more viable as anti-air attack. So they buffed his uppercut, his lighter version, which definitely had a lot less recovery. As increasing the active time makes the attack longer overall, and now leaves Soul more open to attack when whiffed or blocked by a grounded opponent. So now you can actually punish this shit. You could not, it was so hard if you weren't on top of shit to punish his regular uppercut, his S version of it. So that just means now if they throw it out recklessly, you have a better opportunity and you will be able to get it even if you're not like on top of it like that. After blocking Bandit Bringer, which was his dive, which was -2, safe on block, you could throw punish him if he was close enough, but that's only if you were lucky. Because it was so hard to be at the proper spacing, and if you tried to throw him and you were a frame off, they would backdash, you'd whiff your throw, and he would punch you for counter hit, and it was miserable. Like, this move had so little counterplay because it was so hard to anti-air. It was difficult for both the player and their opponent to predict what would happen. The Soul player would know, they just mash backdash and to be happy. It is now easier to put distance between Soul and the opponent after it has been blocked, and the situation is less likely to be impacted by the startup time of the opponent's close range options. Not sure if I like that. I don't want Soul to be at a safer distance when he does it, but at the same time, it'll make people less inclined to try to whiff a grab and get bodied by that. Although Wild Show is distinguished by invincibility throws, it was used less frequently in the Soul Standard throw. It is now possible. Oh God. So no. You can RC Wild Throw for extra damage. Oof. Interesting. Well, more knockback on far standing slash, increase the standard damage scaling, so it will do less damage. If you get rocked by that, you take less damage. Decrease the hitbox and increase the hurt box around Soul's feet, so it's easier to hit Soul out of it. Volcanic Viper, increase time in the air, so it's easier to punish him on recovery. Bigger knockback on block. And more landing recovery. Oh my God, yes. That's so important right here. This number 1. Increased landing recovery. He just can't throw that shit out in the air anymore. On the ground, he never really used it on the ground. That's what we want to see. Increased landing recovery. Now he's at less of an advantage, maybe even negative. I don't know if he's going to be punishable, but you have a better chance of timing your attack after that. Increased positive frames on hit, so he gets a better Oki afterwards. So, Soul Badguy, he still has the damage from his heavy Volcanic Viper. He's still going to have a 3-frame 5k. So those things aren't changing, but his damage is being reduced slightly from the far slash, and then his neutral tools are weaker. At least for far slash, forward slash, and aerial bandit bringer. So that'll make it so that people have to be a little less reckless, but it still keeps his standard game plan, it looks like. But yeah, you can RC his command grab for extra damage, extra credit. Interesting. Okay. Kiske. It is easier for both hits of Stun Dipper to connect from a long range now, which is good. It wasn't super consistent. This means it's more viable to get damage from his pokes at mid-range, which is important because that's what's the core of Kai's game plan initially. He was always like, oh, I hit far slash, oh, I hit crouch slash, let me go for Stun Dipper, get the knockdown. You weren't consistent with that. You hit like a far slash from like not full distance, or like a crouch slash. The second hit would get blocked and you would get punished for it. So that's more consistent now, which is good. Compared to crouching slash, his far standing slash had few distinct advantages. It is now easier to use as a way to approach opponents from long range. So they did buff his far slash, so that's important. Choosing the right time to use this move or to use crouching slash to stop the opponent's approach, he's now capable of strong, grounded neutral while taking limited risks. So they improved his neutral, which that's really good. That was always key to Kai's game plan, is far slash. It wasn't as good in this game. You'll still have counterplay against it, but it's important for that to be good. Dragon Install now increases the tension gauge after a set period of time, as other overdrives do. As it greatly increases Kai's average damage output after activation, we had intended it to be a valuable option, but it resulted in the move being underpowered and not used frequently. This caused us to reevaluate it, including buffs to the activation. The change to Ride Lightning's command is to avoid issues with accidental inputs. Okay, so they changed Ride Lightning's command. I don't know what it is, same as they did Heavy Mob Cemetery. Far standing slash, reduced recovery, so you have less chance to get whiff punished. And it's more easily affected by dash momentum, so you can run with that button too. That's important. Closing the gap and using it, Kai will slide forward, and you'll have that increased range on that, so that's really nice. Easier to combo crouching kick into crouching dust. That's super important because that also whiffed a lot. Stun Dipper makes second hit to combo by changing distance travel to hitbox and the blowback of the opponent. Decrease the distance created between Kai and the opponent after a second hit connects. So it's easier to get Oki with Stun Dipper, and it's easier for the combo to work. So that's going to open up just consistent routing to get knocked down and reapply pressure. Decrease the tension gauge penalty after activation, so you don't lose. You'll be able to get your resources back faster. It starts up faster as well. The hitbox activation is bigger, but it doesn't really hit up higher. Looks like it can't, maybe anti-air or using combos at end, and no longer activates when inputting 4 directions after the command is complete. So you can't do a run-up dragon install, it looks like. Okay, as her far-standing heavy slash, we're looking at Mei now, had much shorter range than her S attack. Despite having a lot of recovery, we reduced her recovery and improved the attack's active time. So, heavy slash, the giant anchor drop is stronger. less whiff recovery on it, so people can just throw it out more willy-nilly, which is what they did in older Guilty Gears. That move was like the go-to button. She would just go thwank, thwank, and you get counter hit, you get a free combo, or they would like press something, you would always win. That might be the case now, because it's more active, and it has less recovery. This makes it very effective at preventing an opponent's approach during neutral. Great. People had no trouble getting in on Mei, buddy. Oh boy. We have also reduced the lower hitbox and hurtbox of her far standard slash and reduced the active time of her crouching slash. So that nerfs 2 of her strongest pokes. You can now low profile far standing slash, and you're able to crouching slash isn't going to be as oppressive because it's not going to linger as long. It is now more vital to choose which is normal as you use for a given situation. Overhead kiss could only be followed up in the corner. However, it can now be followed up mid-screen. So damage is reduced on overhead kiss. I hope it scales the rest of the combo because now she can do a combo mid-screen. Oh no, Mei's the best character in the game. They nerfed her to be the best character because they also buffed her. Oh no, Mei's the best. Increase the lower hitbox and hurtbox. Increase yep. Oh no. Oh no. Totsugeki indeed. Expanded the hurt box in front of Mei. Okay, so Mei is more punishable on crouch slash, so it is a lot weaker. You have to be able to trade with it or hit her out of it cleanly. Reduced horizontal Moblack, making follow-up attacks mid-screen possible. Oh no. So yeah, I think Mei is going to be pretty happy. I think Mei players are going to be A-okay with these changes. Crouching slash being like toned down is perfect, but Totsugekis are just as strong. There's no change on Totsugeki. They did not touch Dolphin. Dolphin is still going to stagger on counter hit into a combo or throw. Overhead kiss is now a threat mid-screen instead of just corner carry. They're going to get a full combo mid-screen and corner carry, all at the expense of her best pokes being slightly weaker. I mean, crouching slash seems like a big change for it, but oh my god, this character is still going to be scary. I think every character is still going to be scary. Like, Soul still has his game plan. It's just a few of his most powerful tools were toned down. Is it going to change much because of, like, the 3-frame 5K? Or the fact that, the damage output's insane? We'll see. Again, I hope the proration from far slash is enough that the damage is noticeable in reduction. We'll see from that. Axl Low. It was hard for Axl to get significant returns from his standing punch and crouching punch from mid-range despite the risk of them losing out the opponent's attack. They can now combo into Snail even on grounded hit. Oh my god, they made Snail combo more. So it's 2 things. Sped up the attack startup of Snail, so that means 6P into Snail should work now. That was my biggest complaint, was 6P was utterly useless. So now you can use 6P under pressure, if they're blocking, to mount an offensive, and if it hits, you get Snail off of it. So you get that, and you can combo into Snail off grounded hits that normally you wouldn't, because you couldn't do anything off standing P or crouching P. All you could do was cancel into like 6 heavy or 6K. So now on grounded opponents, you're able to get consistent combos into knockdown. That's that's super good. It doesn't unfortunately, it doesn't make him super much better. It's a good quality of life adjustment for sure, because now those pokes have more reason, and you have more reason to be used and have more reward. Because that's something you would use at mid-range, but you couldn't do 5P Rasengeki. That wouldn't work. But now you have 5P Snail, which will combo at max range for all Snails. So at mid-range, you get a consistent combo off 6P on grounded opponents, making it better to zone them with. Zoning with 2P and 6P is going to be so much better, on top of the other tools he has, like the 2H and stuff like Rainfall and other stuff. So I'm really happy with that change. I'm happy to try to combo stuff off Snail and see what I can get from that. And that's going to make, I think, some combos a little better. The recovery is still going to be the same. So I think it's not going to change like the combos after it, but still a lot of stuff to test out. One Vision. It is now easier to use in combos as the ready stance can be canceled into from special moves. It is now easier to make use of in situations where Roman cancel could not lead to big follow-up, such as from long range, or when the move during the time stop would make an opportunity for a wall break combo. So the ready stance can now be canceled into from special moves. So that means you can do snail into one vision. Not like the power. You can go where he powers up and gets ready to go. How much does this affect? We'll see. I think it means if you land a command grab and you get the running lariat, you can cancel the lariat into one vision activation. I don't think you'll get a combo, but maybe off of like anti-air snail, you can get it, and then you cancel that into a combo. So that's probably the big thing, is you use snail into one vision, or you hit Rensen, the up follow-up that pulls them towards you. So you do Rensen, Melody Chain, they come down, one vision, you hit them on the way back, get a combo. That'd be so cool. Decrease the time of tension penalty while in ready state. And you do get meter back faster after using it. That, honestly, I love that change for... I love that change 100% for Axl. That helps a lot, quality of life. I still would like to see... a better 6P. I think 6P could have used some adjustments just to be stronger, but at least comboing into snail consistently, if that's the case, is pretty good. Alright, Chipp. As there was too much of a difference in facing opponents who could anti-air his aerial down K, it is now easier for anti-airs to hit him during his descent. Yes, they nerfed one of the dumbest moves in his kit. Because that was a little spin dive and no one could stop it. He would just come in like a drill and you would pray that you blocked it and then it get knocked down and have to hold it again. So that's nice. On the other hand, he is now left in a more advantageous position on hit or block. With less distance between him and the opponent, he can now continue his offense after making contact with this move. Okay, so they nerfed it because you can anti-air him better, but in reward, if he hits you, he probably gets a far slash or a close slash instead of just 5k, 2k. So they buffed his offense from it while making it easier to stop. As long as it can be stopped consistently, and if that's actually the case, then I can see this being okay. Arxis, you keep like saying, here's $5, but give me 2 of them. There you go, buddy. Here's some money, but I need a little bit for myself. Thanks very much, but keep the rest. It's fine. You can have, or more like, here's $2, I'll take 3. Here's 5, I take 3. You're left with 2, it's still free money, but I'm going to hold on to this. Don't worry about that. That's what that feels like. The lower part of the hitbox of far standing S has been reduced, making it more likely to lose the low profile moves and 6P attacks. So now they can't just throw that out, which was the fastest far slash in the game. That is going to be easier to counterplay against or hit with like crouching attacks. That's pretty good. His crouching S can now be used as better means to approach the opponent with extended range when used after a dash. So if crouching S is better, makes it risky to throw out moves in neutral against him. So you have to think twice, but because that was buffed. Interesting. Made it easier to affected by dash momentum, which he has all dash momentum. So now Chipps are just going to run at you with crouch slash into a combo. Aerial 2K, reduced the attack's range and increased the lower hurt box as well as the behind it in front of Chipp. So yeah, just overall hurt box is all increased. We have greatly increased the merit of making the opponent block Heat Knuckle. It is now more difficult for the opponent to punish Potemkin when the opponent blocks the latter half of the active frames of 6K. This makes it a viable method of approaching the opponent from mid-range. So if you don't block 6K, his shoulder tackle from point blank, you don't get to punish him. Fixed an issue where the hurt box around Potemkin's feet would disappear on landing, so I guess that's a good bug to fix. Reduced recovery of 6K. Heat Knuckle made it easier to gain tension gauge when blocked and increases the opponent's wrist level. Oh, goodness. I mean, it's not super common for people to have to block that, but when they do, it puts them in front, puts Potemkin at advantage. Now he's at advantage with increased reward from it. Garuda Impact's not going anywhere. Garuda Impact, his best thing he has, because this is a mid-tier character. Like, he's scary when he gets going, and that's just the nature of the character. But he's not like the strongest of the strong and the oppressive of the oppressive. But he still has his kit intact. And I know people weren't a fan of it because he's a grappler, and they hate grapplers. I'm fine with it, but I have to deal with it. I might change my tune. Oh, my okay, yeah. Sorry, Maki. My camera is going just fine. Maybe I was frozen in time. Maybe someone hit me with one vision. Faust. Bone-crushing excitement causes wall break on hit in the corner now. This benefits Faust's extra damage output and tension gauge. So his super, where he like slams his super with the wheelchair, can now wall break if you combo it in the corner, which wasn't like too common, but maybe people will start using it. It is now easier for Faust to prevent the opponent's approach with using his standing H. Improved standing H, okay. This greatly increases his pressure at mid-range when combined with the increase to his crouching heavy slash hitbox and faster startup on aerial down his dive. Okay, that's some good buffs. Honestly, they're not going overboard. Increase the active time on standing heavy slash and the damage on the follow-up hit, and that was like he would slash and throw you with the scalpel. So now that's a better move. Okay. The hurt box on startup and extended the hitbox, and crouching heavy slash, which was one of his best pokes, is much better. Sped up the attack startup for his dive, his little scalpel dive. Reduce the hurt box before the attack comes out, so it's harder to anti-air him. And the opponent doesn't get knocked back as far, which should mean him going into mix should be more consistent. Alright, so I mean that's light buffs for Faust. But again, they're just increasing his neutral tools. His items are still kind of whatever, but I think like this crouching heavy slash buff might be a big game changer. And the dive kick and the crouching heavy slash, if those two work more consistent, stuff is still rough out here. But I mean, like it's a small step. But I think like mix hitting consistently, like if they fixed that a bit and made this tornado work better, I think that would be like the proper change from there. So I'm kind of disappointed to see some special moves not get the proper adjustment, like maybe changing item throw a little bit or mix to be better. But if the adjusted opponent blowback on hit means that he can go into mix consistently off that, then that's a good start. Okay, Millia. In order to make her grounded attacks more viable, recovery of standing heavy slash has been reduced, and her special moves that can be cancelled into from her normals have been buffed. Oh boy. S version of Tangent Top can now be used in combos off of hit confirms. She can now go on the offense with less risk due to being able to link some normals into Lust Shaker at close range in a continuous block string. So they made Lust Shaker better, which is scary because that move is safe on block, and it's good for building a brisk gauge. Standing heavy slash, okay, that's better, nothing huge. Movement speed of the hitbox, so Tandem Top, you can combo off more consistently. And Ivor's Savior, so it's just little buffs to her pressure. She's still going to be a mixed monster, but they're not buffing like her health or anything. They're not like making like 2K 2D any better, and they're not like adjusting anything except for just like some of her ongoing pressure and her like grounded neutral, which she's mostly in the air. So I'm not sure how much I'm sure that helps, but probably not as much as like her air buttons getting more love. But she's a character that can run at you in your face and throw you. So adding a better heavy slash, we'll see. Okay, Zato Ichi. We have mainly improved his options when he cannot summon Eddie. His standing heavy slash has been very buffed, making it a strong choice just to throw out. 6P now blows the opponent back on regular hit, making it a reliable choice to take control from the opponent. It can now combo into standing P at close range. So you can do 6P into 5P. Interesting. If you do it point blank. Quarter circle back heavy slash while Eddie is summoned fixes a bug where Eddie could take other actions mid-air during leap, which was a bug. He could do the frog, and then like you can shoot him forward. However, the ability to do this using Sun, Void, Roam, and Cancel remains, as this is an intentional part of his strategy. So heavy slash has increased active attack time, and then it increased the hitbox in front of Zato during additional active time. So it's just more active and bigger during that. Okay. 6P is faster, which is really good, and the opponent comes off the ground. So you get a consistent knockdown off of it, because you'd use that like on a grounded opponent. They would just go, hoo, and that was it. But now you can do that and then get a combo at 5P. Okay, interesting. Ram. By increasing the forward movement of Daoro, it can now be used in mid-screen combos more easily. That's one thing I wanted to see from her. I wanted to see her have more mid-screen because she's all corner. So being able to do Daoro and mid-screen combos is going to help a lot of her damage output. And if that means going like close slash 2D Daoro and getting a better extension, that's good for her. And I think we'll see what the rest of the changes are. Argessa or Dono can now lead to knockdown against grounded opponents on hit, greatly increasing the benefit, increasing the benefit of landing a hit with it. On the other hand, it is now easier for her aerial heavy slash to lose to anti-air attacks due to the decrease in its hitbox on both sides. The player now needs to consider when to use her various aerial options. They were okay with using her various aerial options. They would use jump slash or jump heavy slash or her little swipes. But jump heavy slash was like the go-to, and it's always hard to stop. So if that's easier to stop, that's great. But she's still a monster in the corner. Her corner pressure is unchanged. She's still going to be freaky because she gets you in the corner and it's party time. And that's going to be, it's rough. I don't know. Yeah, in a little bit. I'm doing something right now real quick. Sorry. I'm scared because, like, you made mid-screen better. You didn't, like, weaken her corner pressure or combos. So I've been talking a lot. Let me take a sip real quick. I think Aggressa Odono is her... Yes, Mom? What's wrong? What's wrong? What do you need? You're waiting out here. What's up?
I don't know something happened when I went in there.
What do you need, Mom? You're fine. Do you need something? You're waiting. I'm here to help. What do you need?
I don't need nothing. I want to make sure that you're okay.
Well, I'm making sure that you're okay. Okay, sorry about that. Let me look at chat. Oh boy. Da-da-da. So, I think that's her slash moves in the air. If that's better, then that's cool, because that didn't knock down opponents. So if you actually land that, you get some reward. So she's better. Definitely better. Like, she got buffs. I think the jump heavy slash, I mean, that's good for everybody. And that makes... if I play Axl, that's fine, or like a Geo, I can stop her air momentum, so that's pretty good. Leo Whitefang increased his options... during back turn stance, making it easier to open up the opponent's defense. The mechanics have been adjusted so that you will always move towards the opponent when using the dash button, as you would previously sometimes mistakenly move away from the opponent. His low attack during back turn can be dashed or jump canceled. And he always moves forward when you press the dash button during back turn. That's it. Leo's the best character in the game. Leo and May. It's the gorilla. The gorillas are still kings of the jungle, still tearing it up. Leo might be a lion, but he's got the heart of an ape. They even buffed Nago, from what I understand. Depending on the situation after the first hit of Wasura Yuki, it would sometimes not go in the rest of the animation. This led to a technique to secure follow-up damage by hitting the edge of the attack, but also made it disadvantageous when hitting with the back of the attack. That was his super. People could use his super to anti-air, dash forward, and get the OTG off of it. We've made it so this will not occur when the back of the attack hits, so that it can be followed up with a combo. So, if he hits the super any which way, he will get a combo no matter what. And it's a great super. They throw it out there all the time. That just buffed Tatashi and his use of that super. So definitely good there. The follow-up from his far-standing slash makes it easy to decrease the blood gauge. This capability has been further buffed. So better anti-air with 6p, which was already good. Far-standing slash, the final hit, gets more. So if he does like the final slash, because he has like 3-piece, 1, 2, 3. He will get more recovery, so it makes that better. And the opponent no longer goes into follow-up animation when the edge of the first hit connects with the opponent. When the last hit connects, it blows the opponent's back regardless of their position. She can now combo under 6p. Okay, so let's look at Giovanna. I mean, Nago is only, like, he's doing really well. It's a very strong character and noted good strengths. There is no nerfs to him, so he's still going to run rampant, and that's just the end of that. If there's more changes in the future, I don't know, but that character's better is better. So I expect more oppression and him to be hanging out with Mei and Leo and Soul, banging their chests and just running rampant. Giovanna. She can now combo into 6p from moves such as standing P, making combos easier in situations such as punishing the opponent. Perfect. She could never combo off of her standing P unless she went into one of her special moves, and that was only at specific distances. Now, 5p, 5p, 6p will connect, and you'll be able to get a follow-up combo. That's great. When the final hit of a forward heavy slash or triple kicks, she is now in a better situation for Okazemi. There is now merit choosing not to cancel into a special move during the single situation. Okay, so 6p is faster, which is great. That makes her anti-airs better too, because that move was kind of crap. So you have a better anti-air with 6p, which is good because a lot of moves are more anti-airable, so that's important. And she can use it for combos, so I like that a lot. That was like my one major gripe with her, so that just gives a lot of quality of life. And she has a really good 5p, so that makes that really good. Knocks the opponent down on hit, so you get a hard knockdown on her triple kicks. That's splendid. I like this change for her a lot. Anji looks like he's got some solid buffs here. You can now mix up opponents blocking at mid-range using Fujin because the motion occurs before the attack is active. Made it possible to cancel into its various follow-ups even on whiff. Anji players, they can do Fujin now! They can just go Fujin, hop, Fujin, overhead, Fujin, thing, just how they want to. They can just throw out Fujin. I'm telling you, this is the gorilla patch. Everyone is just pounding their chest, going to be throwing out things in mid-screen, canceling stuff in mid-screen, having hitboxes everywhere. They're going to go fucking crazy. Oh boy. The recovery... reduce the risk of using his far standing slash as a poke so less recovery, that's good. That's a good make better use of that button. And you get better damage off standing H due to the slight increase to the forward momentum of Fujin. So Fujin goes a little more forward, so it's a better gap closer. It's whiff cancelable, and you can combo from full range from far heavy slash to double fan hit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And his super wall break's better. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ino. A lot of buffs. Wow. The movement of her grounded and aerial hover dash has been buffed, expanding her new options for Okazemi and neutral. The changes to her normals, such as standing heavy slash and the heavy slash version of Stroke the Big Tree, create additional opportunities for combos and increase her pressure at close range. And her super has been buffed, so it's easier to cause wall break from her giant sound explosion. So, she goes faster and covers more distance when she dashes. Scary. Her dash was kind of not super fast for her flying, so now she's going to be flying at you at Mach speed, I bet. Heavy slash, and not the biggest button, but now better, and floats the opponent on grounded hit, so it looks like she'll be able to get better combo opportunities off that. Crouching K, that's a big buff, reduced a knockback. A lot of times, max range 2K 2D wouldn't combo. That's going to make that better, and that's a good quality of life. Reduce horizontal opponent blowback on hit. They stay closer, so you have a better opportunity for her special Oki. That's scary. And adjusted the hit effect on grounded opponents, increasing the time allowed for follow-up attacks. And if you hit them with her overhead jump D, where she does like a splits in the air, pops them, you can get a better combo off that. Reduced knockback on heavy slash version of Stroke the Big Tree, so it's easier to get a full combo. If you hit heavy slash Stroke the Big Tree, you get 6 heavy. Her mic stand thwack. So her offense is nuts now. Oh god, they turned her into a flying gorilla. This is the Wicked Witch of the West, right? Fly, my pretties. That's what it feels like. She is now going to be one of the flying monkeys, just knocking you down, running it. Because now that the distance opponent gets knocked down, right, is decreased, she's able to fly to them faster and start her pressure. And if she hits you with her like decently speeded, low profiling low attack, she's pretty much guaranteed to get a full combo off that. That's crazy. And her pressure's better. Oh my god. Yeah. This character was already solid. Now she is very good. This sounds like extremely good for Ino, because if that better makes her combo routes better and increases it basically enhances the ability for her to start her unique mid-screen pressure. I'm scared. Gold Lewis Dickinson. Okay, finally. The hit effect of Skyfish, which is his super, will now be buffed depending on the security level. It provides a major advantage on a hit at level 3 in particular. The adjustments to Crouching K and 6P are minor, but improve their usability. Reduce knockback on Crouching K, so you get a better chance to get the sweep. 6P's faster, which is good. If you use his super while having security level, you get more damage, it looks like. Interesting. And then, or no, that's Skyfish something else. Skyfish is the... I forget what Skyfish is. Down with the system, where wall break will not occur, and there will be graphical error when hitting the opponent at a certain distance to the corner, despite the follow-up animation occurring. Okay, down with the system is a bug fix on his super that launches them. Okay. Skyfish is it the floating bomb? Okay, so the floating bomb, I guess, is better. So now it goes farther and probably does more damage or easier to combo from. Interesting. So that's the changes. The biggest change I've seen is a lot of 6Ps are better. Nagoriyuki, Geo, Gold Lewis. Some special moves are better, so like Axl's Snail. That's a good improvement. You see like the Skyfish there, and you have Stroke the Big Tree. Really, the only character that got nerfed was Soul. Soul Badguy was like the only character that like sustained any kind of nerf outside of like some characters jumping attack buttons, like Ram. Like if I look at the nerfs out of all the characters, realistically, it's just not Leo. It was Ramlethal. Chipp. Ramlethal, Chipp, May, and Soul. Ramlethal, Chipp, May, and Soul are the only characters that got nerfs out of the 15 characters that are in the game. Ramlethal, Chipp, May, Soul. No Leo. Leo didn't get touched at all. That's crazy. And there's your patch notes. The chain gun. Right. Okay. But yeah. We are in a position where out of the top 5 characters, or like at least one of the best characters in the game, only got better. Other characters got better, but Leo got better. Welcome to Leo Town, where people are going to still play Soul because Soul's still going to be good, but Leo players are beating their chest, eating bananas, and swinging from trees in the light, and I'm scared. I don't blame them. It's just they all they did was make him better, and it's like everything else is still really good, but now you have a dash cancelable standing low attack. See, like it's just it makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. Leo and May are gonna be freaky. But I think like the biggest winners, Leo, May, or rather I say the biggest winners, Ino and Anji. Those are the two characters I think that got the most juice from their changes, in my opinion. If I look at everybody who's in this patch notes, Ino's whole kit is improved and her game plan is just much better now. Like her neutral's better and her Oki's better. So you've just like increased that character's power on all fronts. And then you have Anji, who can now be a bit more reckless. He could be a bit more reckless and have better offense, even though Fujin doesn't have like the armor on certain things, or he doesn't have any really armor at all. He can be a little more. He can play neutral a little more like he used to. But yeah, it's a freaky world we live in. When Leo can now he can cancel his back turn K into a run through, basically just dashing through you, crossing you up again, and oof. Oh boy. I need to see some Twitter reactions here.